All right. Hello, everybody. My name is Tony, and David is not joining me today. He's working on some secret frog stuff. So I'm going to talk about ZK, Telegram, and beyond. To start, I'm going to ask the audience a question. Who here knows what a LARP is? Okay, maybe like 50%. So for those of you who don't know, it stands for live action role play. So when people come together in the physical world to enact a shared fantasy that they have created. With the ZooPass team for the last 2 months, we have been working on a LARP of our own. And this involves a LARP of future social technology using zero-knowledge proofs. Specifically, a LARP in which users have control and self-custody of their own identity, and they can selectively reveal aspects of this identity for social purposes. To do this well, you need two things. You need to store that identity somewhere, and you need meaningful things to do with it. Otherwise, it's data that doesn't need to go anywhere. So, as you may have guessed, that place to store data is ZooPass. And I think ZooPass has been covered very, very thoroughly by previous speakers. So we're not going to talk too much about it. But all you really need to know is that under the hood, ZooPass is a semaphore identity that functions like a public and private key pair. You have data that is unique to you, but you can also have a public identifier that represents you in the eyes of other people. And in our LARP, there's some fun games to play. Oh, and you have tickets. But more importantly, you have frogs. Frogs are going to come later with Forest, so I'm not going to talk about that. Instead, I'm going to talk about what do you do when you have a conference full of people who have ZooPass, who have a semaphore credential, and what interesting things can you create in that shared experience of a future world where we are not relying on Web 2 platforms for our social interactions. Here are some of our experiments. But why did we do this with Telegram? To use the LARP analogy, putting cool new ZK social tech in Telegram is like getting dressed up in our medieval costumes and deciding we're going to go to McDonald's. The reason is that there's still a trade-off here. You can be as decentralized and as innovative as you want, but if people don't use the thing, you're shouting into a void that no one cares about. To explain this further, I created something called the good enough chart. On the left side of this chart is bad user experience. If we wanted everyone at this conference to verify their identity, we could do something like go buy this NFT, bridge some ETH first, join a Discord channel, prove that you have that NFT, and maybe that will work. But no one's going to do that. And on the other side, you have great UX, which is what people have spent millions of dollars and years developing at these Web 2 social platforms, like Telegram. Smooth, fast accounts, fun emojis, all that good stuff. And what we decided to do is just barely go past the good enough line. And the way we did this is by integrating ZooPass inside of Telegram. Under the hood here, we have a web view that the Telegram API exposes that allows you to pull up a mini browser when you're inside the Telegram app. And you can load ZooPass. And what this does is it allows you to access your private credentials in a local storage that the Telegram server does not have access to, but still interact with the various experiences we've created without needing to leave the app. So here is a live GIF of opening up ZooPass inside of Telegram. And as we can see, it's a little bit ugly. It's a little bit clunky. The CSS looks weird. It's slow to load. But we have a good enough experience where users can stay in Telegram, they can chat with other conference attendees, and they have access to their private credentials. So from this basic foundation, we decided to run some experiments. The most important one is authentication. How do you get people into a group chat where everyone there has proved that they are a Devconnect attendee? That's a really important thing. First step is the user selects which group chat they want to join. In this case, how many of you have joined the PROGCRYPTO Telegram hub? Okay, almost everybody. So you probably went through this flow. You chose the conference chat you wanted to join, and most importantly, you created a proof that you have a ticket to this event. You sent that ticket to our Telegram bot. Our Telegram bot verified that you did in fact have a ticket to PROGCRYPTO, And then the bot said, hey, you can join this group. To zoom out a little bit, the flow that's happening here is we have a user input, the group you want to join. We have a proof that's generated that says something meaningful about your identity. I am a person who has a ticket to this event. That proof could be sent anywhere, but in this case, it's sent to the bot server who verifies that, yes, you do have a ticket. And there's an action taken in response to that verification, which is, I'm going to join, you can join this group. So here are the mini services involved. We go from bot to Zoopass to bot, and then Telegram ends up letting you join the group. Okay, everyone is now in the group. We have confidence that anyone who posts here has proven they have a right to be here. What else can we do? We wanted to see some posts. And because this is ZK, we wanted to make it anonymous. In fact, pseudonymous, so you have a history of your posts, but we still don't know who you are. Over the last 2 weeks, we've been running these anonymous chats with some highs and some lows, but I'll just speak on some good moments here. We had Anonymous Whale who says, I want to fall in love, but no one wants to do it with me. It's a little sad. Fortunately, Anonymous Giraffe came in and said, my whale friend, I am sure there is someone there for you. And we saw these nice interactions play out more often than shitposting. Under the hood, this is the same flow that we use for authentication. This is a user input, the message they want to send. This is a proof saying I have a ticket to this event, and this is the message I'm sending. We have a bot that verifies that proof, and then when everything gets checked out, the message is sent to Telegram. Okay, we have authentication, we have posting. What next? Let's react to some stuff. Anonymous Fish says, what's with programmers and frogs? My ex-partner, a programmer obsessed with frogs. I sensed some pattern there. I don't know if there's a pattern. I'll leave that up to Anonymous Fish. But I do know that 3 people anonymously reacted with a frog to this message. And an interesting property of reactions, although it's a very basic social interaction, is that you can actually start to generate some type of social graph of who has interacted with who has reacted to whose posts. And you can do something like what Reddit has done with karma that's actually meaningful when someone else thinks you've said something worth reacting to. Once again, same flow. User sends in an emoji they want to react to. They prove that they're in the group and this is their emoji. The bot verifies the proof and increments the reaction on that post. So I know I said that we did this within Telegram, but an important point to make is that this function can also happen outside of Telegram, because really what's happening is we are just creating data, we're creating proofs about it, and we're consuming that data. So on zk-tg.com, we have the profiles of people who've been posting. And here's Anonymous Baguette. Anonymous Baguette has received 17 reactions from other people in the chat and has posted something about Vitalik giving alpha on plasma. And if we see the flow here, none of this uses Telegram. There's input where you can send a message, that proof is generated. The ZK-TG client the server verifies that message, and then the ZK-TG client displays the results. So we're just using Telegram as a convenient front end for this data, but it's very important to note that Telegram is not required. It just makes things a little smoother. Lastly, we've implemented voting. This is a really important primitive for a group to have, and if you have the assurance that everyone who is voting is actually a member of the group, the polls become more meaningful. It's not like a Twitter poll where you have bots sibling and Elon running things, and who knows what the vote actually is. So with voting, we have ZooPoll. And with ZooPoll, you log in, you prove that you are part of the global group of Devconnect participants, and then you can create polls or you can vote on polls. And here's another example of a flow that is completely outside of Telegram. I have user input, what vote I'd like to do. I prove that I'm a member of the group. The ZooPoll server verifies that proof and confirms that you have not voted already. And the action that's taken is that the count of votes increments. So here's the poll that we ran, and I'm going to ask everyone's opinion. Is a hot dog a sandwich? Raise your hand if a hot dog is a sandwich. Wow. Okay, I feel like that's pretty representative of what we have here. Mostly no. I also am team no, for the record. And we can also have this data be presented in Telegram. And you may have noticed that we've been running polls in the community poll topic in Telegram. But this data lives elsewhere. Telegram, again, is just the endpoint for the poll that we're running, completely verifiable, completely on our own web services. So what we've created here is like a little mini-verse of our different bots and the different social experiences they provide in a ZK-friendly way. We have voting, we have polling, we have reacting, we have posting, and we have a way for people to authenticate that they are members of the group. And so here are some stats on the last 2 weeks of running these social experiments with ZooPass and Telegram. We had over 1,900 users who joined Telegram groups via ZK proofs. Unfortunately, people wanted to collect frogs more than they wanted to join the group, but hey, the frogs are really catchy. 653 anonymous messages, 414 anonymous reactions, 34 polls, and 6 other events that are already using the software to run their own private Telegram chats for Devconnect events, and this PROGCRYPTO group chat is one of them. So these are some of the groups that we've onboarded: Solidity, Next Billion, PROGCRYPTO. We did this at Devconnect as a conference in the weeks before. And then Protocol Labs was like, hey, we like what you guys are doing. Can we implement this tech for our lab week? And then a network state experiment called Vitalia was like, can we use ZooPass for our longevity stuff in Honduras? And I was like, I don't know. And then someone was like, you guys should pitch ZooPass to the government of Taiwan. Let me introduce you to someone. And the question that I'm having is why? Why do people want ZooPass, which again barely crosses the UX barrier, to actually be used for other groups and other things? And I think the first answer is that they are values aligned with what we're trying to do. They think it's cool to create an alternate LARP reality of social media, of identity, of proving whenever you want to take actions. And they're willing to take more of a UX hit in order to experiment with this. But I think the more interesting reason that people are using this stuff and want to keep using it is there's actually some utility being provided. So what is it that is actually new about what this stuff enables for people? First of all, you have universal authentication. Cedar and Jay just demonstrated how by signing in with ZooPass on any website, you can get that proof that someone is a part of a specific group and use that for your own service. And we're seeing different integrations with ZooPass popping up from Devconnect, from getting faucets for hackathon projects. And the thing is that this is a universal standard. It's just using a semaphore identity under the hood. So you could even implement your own ZooPass, and it would work for these websites as well if they were willing to take it. We are private by default. Anytime information is going out from ZooPass, it's presented in a proof screen that shows you exactly what you're revealing. In this case, this is a vote that says, this zero knowledge proof is showing that you're a member of the Devconnect group chat, and you can vote on this poll. It's mobile first. Most people are using stuff on mobile, and client-side proving is now fast enough that it's a reasonable experience to let people generate their proofs on their phone in real time. There's no crypto needed. This is actually a big thing to say. You don't need a wallet to have a cryptographic identity. You don't need gas. You don't have to worry about getting currency. And I think that increases by orders of magnitude the number of people who can onboard to the PCD and cryptography ecosystem. And finally, there's none of this. Each of these is a walled garden with their own standards, their own rules, their own ban lists. And it's actually a lot more efficient to just be like, we're going to use math instead of LinkedIn as the reason for why you can join a group. So I'll leave you with this. I think we have put our ZK ZooPass integrations in front of tech enthusiasts and visionaries. And I think from the interest we've received, there are some pragmatists who are actually interested in this as well. And we potentially are starting to enter that chasm between when this actually starts becoming useful for people and adoption starts to spike. Who knows? And I encourage to see what you all will build on ZooPass. So thank you very much.